What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. All right, check it out. Excuse me. Devin Haney versus Gary Russell Jr. Man, excuse me, guys. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. So, Gary Russell Jr., Devin Haney. Look, man, like I said in that thumbnail, Teofimo Lopez is looking down on these guys. You know, I want some of these guys that came over here and had some things to say to return. Return back over here. Black and brown boxing. He had a whole lot to say about Teofimo Lopez. Zorro's 2 times. What's good with you? He knows the sports is an idiot. Of course, we know he has a lot to say about Teofimo Lopez. This moron actually, at least with black and brown, he's Devin Haney, and he has reason to support Devin Haney. This idiot, he knows the sports. You idiot. He supports Tank Davis and Devin Haney. And see, my thing with this is Devin Haney and Tank Davis are fighting guys that have come up 2 weight classes, and this is supposed to be acceptable? You got to be kidding me. Both of these guys are getting in the mix with guys coming up 2 weight classes, while Teofimo Lopez is fighting Lomachenko. But these Devin Haney and Tank Davis supporters seem to feel necessary to take shots at Teofimo Lopez. I'm right back to keeping the same energy, guys. Black and brown boxing, that's right. Get back over here, because you came up here on my live and charged me for keeping the same energy. Well, where are you at, black and brown boxing? He knows the sports is an idiot, so I don't care where he is. He can stay over there with that foolishness. Of course, he supports Devin Haney and Tank Davis, fighting 2 guys moving up in weight. However, Teofimo Lopez is fighting Lomachenko. My man, unrivaled boxing talking news in the building. What's good with you, Mark? So we got to get to the bottom of this tomfoolery, man, because this is foolishness to its finest. All right. First, I've expressed enough times that I see no intrigue in the in the Tank Davis versus Leo Santa Cruz fight. I hear all of these narratives. Tank might gas out. Leo might take him in the deep waters. Blase, this, that, and the third. I hear this. I hear this all the time. But I could see nothing more than Tank Davis dispatching Leo Santa Cruz. Nothing more than that. I don't give Leo Santa Cruz the chance that everyone has given him. No. He's too defensively irresponsible. Tank's too much bigger than him, and Tank hits extremely too hard. No. Leo Santa Cruz has not used his face for a punching bag in the ring with anybody that hits like Tank Davis. But one thing's for sure, Leo Santa Cruz uses his face as a damn punching bag. Okay? So, Brown Gunho 1, what's good with you? My man Zorro says, I have to admit, and I do want a real man does. Wait. Let me start that again. I have to admit, and I think you meant to say, and I do what a real man does, and a fan of the sport, and say, I was wrong. I didn't think Loma and Tio would be real. I respect Tio highly now. Zorros, you are a real man, bro. And I appreciate that. Man. Because I want those other guys that came over here. Because Zorros, you always been up on the up and up to me. And you didn't come here and say, no, D, you got to charge Teofimo. So I don't have problems with guys like you, Zorros, but I do appreciate that. Black and brown boxing needs to come over here. Unrivaled said, D, you spent more on hats than I spent on Hey man, hey, I gotta keep them coming, bro. I just love the hats, bro. I love the hats, Mark. So YouTube is Oh, let me put this link in the chat for you guys that want to come up, kick it with me, Jeff, about this. I'm gonna rock with this about an hour, guys. Maybe an hour 15 minutes, because I set the power of the mind live back to 12:30. I mean, not power of the mind, speak your mind sports talk live daily. I set that back to 12:30. Uh, we could cook on this topic for a little bit because bro, I gotta tell y'all, man, this is it's getting out of hand. Like, how could we talk so much about Teofimo Lopez? I mean, and you guys was here. I went through and Punch Drunk. Shout out to my man Punch Drunk Boxing, because we went through the fire. We went through the fire about Teofimo Lopez, and you actually have guys accepting, and not only accepting, advocating for this fight. I won't even lie, guys. I won't even lie. When I seen the video pop up, someone sent me a copy, a link to the video to He Knows the Sports video about this Devin Haney, Gary Russell situation. And I was like, man, I'm not paying attention to the dude, man. I know he has something stupid to say because he hates Teofimo Lopez. He swears he's a hype job. I don't know at this point how you could even consider Teofimo a hype job. He's done enough. But anyway, I said, let me check it out. Let me see. Not only does this idiot, it's nothing good to say about Devin Haney fighting Gary Russell, in my opinion. But not only is this idiot supporting this, the same moron is calling Teofimo a hype guy. He's fighting Loma, you idiot. As you support Tank and Gary Russell are fighting guys moving up 2 fucking weight classes. Please explain this to me. I don't understand the rationalization of some of these people, bro. How you rationalize or justify this bullshit? How? I don't get it. Mark, what is your idea on WBC champion Devin Haney fighting Gary Russell? What is your idea?
What's my thoughts?
What's your thoughts? How you feel about it? What's the value of this fight in your opinion? Because I give it no value. I'll give him credit, minimal credit for beating up Gary Russell, but I give this fight no value.
Gary's a good fighter. People will protect Devin by saying plenty of fighters in the past have moved up multiple weights to have fights. Roy Jones, Oscar, Mikey Garcia, Kell Brook, etc. People are going to do that, right? We know people are going to do that. I'm just going to sit there and think to myself, well, there's a difference. All of those guys were pound for pound fighters. Every last one of them. Gary Russell isn't. But they were people. Roy Jones was #1 pound for pound on the planet. He went up to fight a weak champion in John Ruiz. He didn't go up to fight the best available opponent. He didn't fucking fight Lennox, did he? No. Of course not. Of course not. That wasn't going to happen. John Ruiz, easier stretch. So I kind of look at it as whatever, but like one thing I will say is I would much rather see him fight. Like there's a few names that I've come up with, like little short lists, right? So Rancis Barthélemy, Yvonne Mendy. So I've got Rancis, Yvonne Mendy, Masayuki Ito, the former WBO 130-pound champion who lost to Herring, who's moved up to 135 coming off of a knockout victory. Okay, he's one. Nakatani,
exactly. Yes, I would love to see that.
Richard Comey, even though coming off of Edis Tatley, your EBU champion Patera. These are all better options. They are all top 20 lightweights. Every last one of them, all available, all easy to make, all affordable fighters, and all within your division. Way better. And that's what all of those names I named, better than his best win so far. It would be the best. Like, people big up the Gary Russell thing. I don't care. What I'd like to see is Gary Russell fight at 126, or if he wants to move up, go up to 130, Gary. Go up to 130. Fight against Harry. Fight against Burchell. Fight against Jojo. I mean, Try and get a fight with Leo after he loses. Not going up to 135. I mean, actually, there's another name, Burchelt. He's been talking about fighting from 130 to 135. Devin Haney could fight Burchelt. I don't mind that. I like it. Gary could go to 130 and fight Shakur Stevenson. Give us all what we want. We'd all love that shit. That's fucking sick.
Right. Damn
So,
right.
I don't get it. I don't like it. But it is what it is. This does happen in boxing. I don't put any value in it. Will I watch it? Probably just because I'll be honest. I don't like his attitude lately, right? I don't like the shit he's been talking. I've always loved watching Gary Russell Jr. fight. I've always loved watching him fight. The dude's a fucking good fighter. So I'll watch it just because I enjoy watching him fight. But that's
I have to agree with you on that because I've consistently and I've said, hey, watch. I don't give a rat's ass about that Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz. I'm watching it the next day. I'm not taking out no time. It's too much. There's too many other events going on that I can be watching that I will enjoy instead of watching that fight. So I'm not watching it. UFC is going to be on that night. Basketball is going to be on that night. Fuck that fight. I'm not. But the Devin Haney Gary Russell fight, I'm with you on that. I will at least watch it. I do have some intrigue in that fight. I have none in Tank Davis and Leo Santa Cruz. No intrigue, no suspense, no interest. And Devin Haney and Gary Russell Jr., I do have some intrigue. So I'm with you on that. I will watch the fight. Do I justify or support the fight? No. Especially when all of these Haney fans keep coming at me about Teofimo Lopez. What do y'all got to say about your champion? He's a champion. He's not a fighter. He's not a contender. He's no more a prospect. He's the WBC champion. Fighting a guy moving up 2 weight classes. I want you idiots, and everybody who gave Spence the same heat for fighting Mikey Garcia to come to the front of the congregation. Keep the same energy. You gave my guy, I know everybody heard them give my guy Spence all kinds of heat. He's fighting a little Mikey Garcia, blah, 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 blah. Get the fuck out of here, man. This is exactly what Devin Haney's getting ready to do. This is exactly what Tank Davis is getting ready to do. Teofimo's a super duper hype job. Teofimo's ducking Lomachenko. Teofimo don't want that work. Teofimo. You got to stop hating on Teofimo and respect who's really at the top of the game when it comes to these young guns. That's right. Over Ryan, over Tank, over Devin, over Shakur. Teofimo, he's at the top of the game right now, and he's going to fight the best. Devin Haney's fighting a guy coming up from 2 weights, and they're celebrating this? You gotta be kidding me. Zorro's 2 times in the building. What's good?
Yeah, what's happening? You all right?
Yeah. Pretty good. How you doing today, brother?
Yeah, I'm just chilling. About to crack a beer, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot you in the UK. No, it's okay. Well, it's like set. It's 5 o'clock there, isn't it?
No, 4:15, bro.
Yeah, it's past 12.
Come on,
Sarah. That's to get off of work beer, you know.
No, D gets it.
Yeah.
Give it 2 more hours, man. Give it 2 more.
Nah, 2 more hours, I'll be asleep.
Okay, see, Zorro's a hard worker. I get that too, Zorro's. I used to be there, bro. Get home, got me a few hours, crack me a beer, watch a TV, and gone. Do it all over again the next day. That's that hard working life, man. I've been there, done that. Shout out to you, Zorro's.
It's got to be done, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so what you think, man? What you think? Do you think Devin Haney and Gary Russell Jr. is a fight that you support? Do you advocate for this fight? Is this a good move for the young Devin Haney, Zorro's?
I don't particularly care for it, if I'm honest. I think Gary just decided to bark at a bunch of people, and Haney was the only person that bit the bullet, like took the bait. And now they're celebrating because they've taken bait from somebody that's just chatting shit to them. Exactly like Joel Miller did. Talk a load of shit and get a payday out of it. Or, in Miller's case, completely different.
Well, yeah, he kind of fucked his entire career up, lost out on all that money, and Yeah, and now he's blaming everybody but himself. I love the Miller situation because it's a perfect example of somebody who, if he had kept his mouth shut, he would have continued to make good money in the sport because the fights that he was doing didn't have that high level of drug testing. More eyes are on you at world level, at the upper echelon. So.
An example of karma at its finest.
Right. You can't talk your way through that, man. Once you start moving up, too many eyes or too much money involved. The more money that's involved, the more eyes going to be on those fights. You can't talk your way out of these situations. Hey, Kyle in the building. What up, Big D Unrivaled? Teofimo Kami, who won better than it? Yeah, man, nobody doing nothing better than my boy. They're not doing nothing, Haney. Trash fight. That's right, Jed. Jay Cooley in the building. Just how I hold on, Jay Cooley. Hold up. See, Jay Cooley, don't start. Don't start with me. Jay Cooley, oh, put that link in the chat, Jay Cooley, before I come at you. Don't start that shit. No, he don't sound like a hater. And if you one of these guys supporting Devin Haney and Gary Russell Jr., step to the front of the congregation, Jay Cooley. This is gloves up. This ain't speaking my sports talk. I mean, live daily. This is gloves up, son. You see that? You see that? Gloves up. Step to the front of the congregation, because I want all that smoke today about this. There ain't gonna be no support in this fight. No. Did you, Jay Cooley? You should be ashamed of yourself. What kind of heat did Spence get when he fought Mikey Garcia, Jay Cooley? You should be ashamed of yourself. Check
This
out
fight
that.
did nothing for Haney at all.
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing.
Exactly. Jack Kyle. IBT, what's up with you, bro, man? What's good? IBT, you in them books. If you're not in them books, click that link.
So could I say something real quick?
Of course.
If you've ever criticized any of these fights, right? If you've criticized Kelbrook versus Golovkin, if you've criticized Rigondeaux Lomachenko, if you've criticized Amir Khan versus Canelo, if you've criticized Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence, if you've criticized Canelo versus Kovalev, if you've criticized any of them,
bring it, Mark.
I'm gonna quote Nuke. Keep that same energy.
Yeah, bring it, Mark. That's why I fucks with my man Unrivaled. Did you hear the list, Jay Cooley? Did you hear the list? So if you had anything to say, Jay Cooley, and I've been around you quite a bit, Jay Cooley, here on Showtime, we bounce around Jay Cooley. So if you had anything to say about any of those fights that my man Unrivaled just dropped on you, step to the front of the congregation. Jay Cooley says Gary Russell has been trying to fight people in weight classes, so it's not his fault. There it is, see? So it's his fault. Jay Cooley, you always do this. You always
That's exactly
do this.
what I just said. He'd just been mouthing off at a bunch of people and someone took the bait.
Right. See, he always does this, though, with his fighters that he supports. It's not his fault this happened. It's not his fault this happened. Jay Cooley is unacceptable. For Gary Russell Jr., kudos. He's going up 2 weight classes to fight Devin Haney. I have no problem with Gary Russell Jr. And this ain't about Gary Russell Jr., Jay Cooley. So don't start coming at the Gary Russell Jr. angle. I don't care about Gary Russell Jr. When the guy moves up 2 weight classes, I don't have the problem with that guy. I don't have the problem with Mikey, Canelo, Khan, Brooke, Gary Russell Jr. It's the idiot that's taking the fight. It's the situation. Now, let me give you an example. GGG fights Kell Brook. Mark, I will ask you this. Were there other fights that GGG could have taken that were much more significant than fighting Kell Brook moving up 2 weight classes? Were there other fights available for him?
Billy Joe.
Right, boom, that's one. Good enough. And I could go down the list. Let me switch the script. I don't believe that when Spence took Mikey Garcia, when he finally decided to take Mikey Garcia, there weren't fights available. Now, people always want to point out Crawford, when he was in the mix or something. Now, after all of that finished, I gave Spence the heat for not taking Crawford after the Mikey fight. But at the time Spence took the Mikey fight, let's remember, guys, Crawford just moved up to 147. All of those other idiots didn't want to even get in the ring with Spence. The Brooks. I mean, not the Brooks, the Porters, the Garcias, the Thurmans. They didn't want no parts of Spence, okay? So he took this money fight. Devin Haney, right now, none of that applies. None of that applies for Devin Haney. Mark just gave a list of people that I would love to see him fight. I'm pretty sure you guys would love to see him fight. None of that applies for Devin Haney. This
can I ask you honestly?
Diddly for Devin Haney. Go ahead, Mark.
This is honestly, right? A lot of people, they look at Rancis as being boring, right? He's a boring fighter, and it's not a fight I would enjoy him versus Devin. But wouldn't that prove Devin as a top 10 lightweight if he were to beat up Rancis Barthélemy and put distance between himself? He'd put himself in there as a worthy champion, wouldn't he?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good fighter. Rancis is awkward. He's difficult to deal with. And when he's on it, he's on it. He's got skills.
I gotta admit, I underestimated the guy. I thought this fucking Yahoo was gonna beat him up this weekend because I wasn't.
No, Rancis didn't fight this week. Rancis didn't fight this week. Ledouan did. It was Ledouan who fought this week. Rancis's fight was pulled off.
Oh, sweet. Because I'm good. I thought I got it wrong. But anyway.
I still feel like there's a lot of people that don't see Haney as a proper champion yet from the way he got his championship. So having a decent name would be a way of proving himself to people, I think.
Yeah, but Zaros, I don't. So get this smoke, and I had a conversation about this. And then initially, I didn't either. I was like, nah, come on, but he defended it. I don't care if he defended it against Alfonso Santiago. He still defended it. Okay, so once you defend your belt, then you're a champ. That's it. So I don't rag Devin Haney no more. That's why I was like WBC champion, because I give him credit now for because he did at least defend it. You know what I mean? It's not like he just got the belt 2 times and he's sitting there with the belt and he didn't defend the belt. So he defended the belt versus Alfonso Santiago. So he's a legitimate champ. You know what I mean? But as a legitimate champ, you don't need to be fighting no Gary Russell coming up 2 weight classes. I'm getting ready. It's more to this. Why I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Brown Gone once said he knows the sports is he deleted my comment. Yeah, this is what these guys do. They sit up there. I'm not like this channel. I'm not like that channel. Then they start booting you. They start deleting comments. He's deleted my comments before, but he used to cry about people delete. Black Horseman just deleted a few of my comments. And that's all he used to speak about. Yeah, you go over there to the LGBC. They take out the comments. They cowards. What are you now since you just deleted my comments? They don't keep the same energy, Brown Gone one. It's not in their blood. It ain't in their DNA. Jay Cooley says, T.O. nor Lomo won't fight them. Man, stop it. Just stop it, bro. Stop it. Teofimo won't fight Devin. Teofimo won't fight Devin. Let me tell you something. Teofimo pulled out of that ridiculous tournament so that he can plant himself in the position where he is now, Jay Cooley. That's why he pulled out. All of you damn Devin Haney supporters think it's about him ducking Devin Haney at that point. No, was no opportunity there. Him and his father seen the opportunity. And how did that work out for him? How did it work out for him, Jay Cooley? Should he have stayed in that boring-ass tournament? It wasn't going to do anything? Or should he have taken the path that he's taken and led him to the best fighter at 135, not a guy moving up 2 weight classes? Because the path Devin Haney took him, whether you say what you want, nobody want to fight him, Eddie Hearn tried to blah, 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 blah. The path he took led him fighting a guy moving up 2 weight classes. So, again, click that link and step to the front of the congregation and stop coming with that bullshit. Because ain't none of it going to fly today, buddy. It ain't going to fly. Go ahead, whoever that was.
Definitely ain't ducking Haney because he's fighting Loma.
That's the stupidest shit, bro. Like, what the fuck? It's the same shit they say about Joshua and all of these Canelo. How the fuck you ducking Andre and you fought Jacobs? You fought Kovalev. You fought guys he ain't even gonna fight, but you ducking him? Come on. This shit is stupid. He's fighting
the guys, like the way it works.
Why would he be ducking a champion who only has a title defense against us, Alfonso Santiago. Smack yourselves, like Nuke says. What's up, IBT?
Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing?
Let me see.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm doing fine, but look, D, you gotta put some respect on the boogeyman that is Devin Haney. If if you call anyone out and they don't take the fight immediately, they're ducking. That's how it works, and that's
Yeah.
why Mr. Gary Russell, the man who took Lomachenko life and death, is now challenging Devin Haney. But in all seriousness, I think this is a terrible fight. In all honesty, I really wish either guy would either campaign at their own division or Gary Russell Jr. would just fight someone at 130. But I think the 135, it just seems kind of it seems almost like a cash grab, like he's cashing out. I'm not sure. He's been extremely inactive when he has been fighting. I don't even know if the deal's going to go through, but I just think this is a bad matchup, and I think the people who are trying to hype it up are doing a disservice to the sport.
Can I say something real quick? There's a
Of
fight
course.
I would like to see this fight. Maybe it's just me. I would like to see Gary and Jojo have a rematch because Jojo's improved. He's looked better at 130. That'd be interesting. And Gary has a chance to become a two-weight world champion there.
So, Mark, I agree with you too. And I said this, I already said this. There is intrigue in this fight. You understand? So it's
In
not
what
like
fight? In the Jojo Gary fight?
No. Russell and Haney.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There is some intrigue in this fight.
Yeah,
I can't say this.
It's Gary's hand speed.
Okay, right. So I can't say that it's not. And Tank Davis, Leo Santa Cruz, I have no intrigue, nothing, no suspense, nothing. I don't want to see it. So there is some intrigue in this fight. But my thing is, dude. Teofimo Lopez won the belt off of Richard Coleman, right? What is his next move after that? Who is he defending the belt that he just won? What is his next move? Who is he defending his belt against? Lomachenko. It's a unification. Call it what you want. He still has to defend that title because it's on the line. So he's defending his championship against Lomachenko. Whereas Devin Haney defended his title against Alfonso Santiago. And the next title defense is against a guy moving up 2 weight classes. Somebody make sense of this to me. See, why are we comparing now? Because you can't tell me that, that's because nobody will get cool. Say it's not his fault. Get the fuck out of here with this, man. Nobody gave. See, I don't like when guys don't. Nobody gave Wilder any excuses. I'm no Wilder supporter, but I'm saying y'all didn't give Wilder these excuses coming up. Fight, do this, do this. Y'all damn sure didn't give Errol Spence, and I am a fan of Errol Spence. I ain't none of this fucking benefit of the doubt for Errol Spence. None of it, bro. Y'all was slamming this dude while he couldn't get the fight with Porter. He couldn't get the fight with Danny Garcia. He couldn't get the fight with Keith Thurman. Before he got the fight with Kell Brook, he won them all. Y'all slamming Spence. Spence ain't proven. Spence ain't this. Spence got to do more. He beats Kell Brook, and y'all still was slamming him. But I'm supposed to hear these freaking excuses about Devin Haney right now? Come on. It's called keeping the same energy. I'm sending shots and flames at everybody. My guys, your guys, any guy, when they violate this good sport of boxing, my friend. Andre in the building. What's good? Tio's 23. Daring to be great and fighting arguably the best fighter on the planet. How can you hate on that? Thank you, Andre. Because just a little while ago, they was up here telling me he don't want no parts of Lomachenko. This is a sign that he's ducking Lomachenko. He don't want to fight with Lomachenko. Where you at, Black and Brown? Because you a Devin Haney defender to the end. Step to the front of the congregation, my friend. Oh, Shiz Biz in the building. What's good? I ain't gonna read that. IBT is up here. So let me slide on down here. Die Hard Casuals in the building. Big Dan, what's up, Big Dan? Haney versus Russell. Bad fight. Yep, unanimous. Ain't nobody in here except Jay Cooley coming here accepting this fight. Fighters should be fighting guys in their own weight classes. Yeah. Well, again, I don't mind Gary Russell Jr. taking this challenge. This is a challenge for Gary Russell Jr. And nobody wants to fight him. That's why I wasn't really arguing with Jay Cooley, because this ain't about Gary Russell Jr. it is a fact that he was trying to get Leo Santa Cruz and won't trying to answer the call. Mark, am I breaking up?
No, you're fine on my end, but I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, in all fairness, he is a very inactive fighter in terms of how frequently he fights. You know, he's been known to just be a mandatory kind of guy, fights once every year. So if you look at the past,
Hands, IBT.
what was that? Oh yeah, he's got fragile hands, but
Really fucked up hands.
so at that point, I don't get why he thinks he can go to lightweight and cause damage. And also, I don't see why he wouldn't go for unification instead of some mandatories or something, trying to get a bigger money fight. This fight is going to garner more money than his last fight, but only by like 300,000, I believe. So I just don't understand the point, really. I think he'd just be far more suited at featherweight, and I don't even think he's a big guy at featherweight. So I don't know if he could move up to 130 or 135 easily.
No, look. He's walking around totally fit at 147, fam. Okay, so muscles now. So we still got to take that into account. The dude was in the gym. I don't know if you've seen the video clip or not. He stepped on the scale, 147. Okay, and he was cut up and everything. Okay, so he can make the weight. The damage he can cause, his will, imposing his will, and all of this. I don't think he's going to make any noise. Devin Haney is a big 135-pounder. Look at the dimensions on these guys. Just the dimensions alone is an extreme uphill battle. I don't think Gary Russell's hand speed accounts for the dimensions and the fact that Devin Haney knows how to use them. Because I ain't shitting on Devin Haney's skill now. The kid got skills. This is not some young punk he's coming up to fight. No. This kid has skills. So this is a big mountain to climb for Gary Russell Jr. And my problem is not with Gary Russell Jr. I do agree with you, however, IBT, that there are other things that he could have done, right? Intangible, make sure you come back in. I got both y'all up here down. I don't have to fuck up the names. I probably still will. But I agree with you that, there's other things that Gary Russell could have done. But those other things are not greater than him defeating a 135-pound champion. They're not. I don't give a fuck all those other fights. He should have did this. He should have unified. He could have did this. That's true. And I agree. Those options were there. But ain't none of those things greater than me than him climbing 2 weight classes and taking down a Devin Haney. And if he could do that, if for some reason Gary Russell could pull out this fight, fucking shout out to Gary Russell, fam. I'm not going to hate on him. And my problem, this live ain't even about Gary Russell. This ain't about Gary Russell. This is about Devin Haney supporters, Teofimo haters, and you idiots. That's what this live is about, fam. Brian Harkin, what's good?
Yeah, what's up? I have a problem
Anthony,
with.
what's up, Anthony? Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I got a problem with this. If Gary Russell Jr. can move up 2 weight classes and he can, Devin Haney can cherry pick a guy 2 weight classes below him.
Right.
Teofimo's fighting the best fighter in his division. That's where I give him credit. Even though I criticize how he got there, and he's fighting the best fighter in his division. Why would people give Devin Haney credit for fighting a very good Gary Russell Jr., but someone who's 2 weight classes below him? That's my problem. It's not like he's fighting someone in his own, a bum in his own weight class. I'd accept that. I literally would accept that, but fighting someone 2 weight classes below you,
yeah,
this is a cherry pick.
I think it's a lose-lose for Haney.
Yeah, because he's not going to get any credit. Because if he knocks him out in one round,
is.
If he knocks him out in one round, he's not going to get no credit. If Gary Russell Jr. does well and he boxes him and he makes it a tough fight, he's not going to get no credit. This is a lose-lose. No matter what he does here, this is a lose-lose. He's not going to get any respect.
If it's a tough 12 rounder, he's going to get stick for it.
Well, hold on, guys. Hold on. I would have to say that he gets minimal credit. I gotta give him some credit for beating Gary Russell. I mean, it's still Gary Russell. Yeah, he came up 2 weight classes, but again, I just explained the shape and the size Gary Russell that. So I'll give him some credit, but he ain't getting a lot. Like, it's no major credit. Okay. And then, like, I'm gonna still flame him because, dude, there's other things you could have done. Other things you could have done. I'm not trying to hear this that he had to take a Gary Russell fight. Y'all stop that foolishness. I need to be more. Look, to be honest, I would rather him defend against a top 15 welterweight. I mean, 135 pounder.
Welterweight.
So I see him fight a guy coming up 2 weight class. I don't care if it is Gary Russell, because just like IBT said, he's inactive. So this is not just okay. So he's a champion. This is a guy that's known at one thing, but this is an inactive fighter that's moving up 2 weight class. Get out of here with this, bro.
And to be honest, there's still
what's up?
Even without the Fortunas and Linares, there's still opponents available for Haney at 135. He could fight Emmanuel to go. He could fight Yvonne Mendy. To be honest, that's a person I'd put him in the ring with. I'd put him in with Yvonne Mendy, and I'd put Russell in the ring with Warrington. Why the fuck have they been champions for 3 years and that fight hasn't happened? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say before you mentioned it. But really, I think, would any of us have an issue if you fought Yvonne Mendy or Emmanuel to go? I think those guys are worthy lightweight contenders.
They're top 10 lightweights.
That would actually be
much
solid.
rather see that fight than this one.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be more competitive. That's how I look at it. It'd be more competitive.
And I don't want a stupid ass Gamboa either.
No. JJ, what's good with you? He said, "How do you think Tevin won't beat Loma? Loma beat the shit out of Tevin Farmer."
Tevin Farmer.
Yeah, Timmy Nealon, what's up with you, my man? Appreciate you. Nick Harmon in the building. What's good, Nick? Smash that like button on the way in. Yes, sir. If Usyk fights AJ in December, who do you think will win? AJ easy, bro. I'm saying I'll pick AJ easy. I'm not saying the fight, but I'm easy. My pick is AJ. That's what do you guys think? Zaros, what you think? AJ Usyk?
I think it's a bit too soon for Usyk.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm picking AJ.
Yeah.
AJ, yeah. IBT, what you think?
I'm picking AJ.
AJ, intangible.
Joshua,
yeah. Brian Harkin, what you think? AJ Usyk?
I have AJ just on the power alone. We don't know if Usyk can take a punch at heavyweight. So.
All right.
Usyk's been buzzed at cruiserweight, though. Usyk's been buzzed at cruiserweight. I saw him get hit with some pretty nice shots from Glavatsky. I also saw him get hit clean with a really hard shot by Gassiev. Now, Gassiev just couldn't find anything in that fight, but there's one period, I think it's like the end of round 4 or round 5, where he got nailed and hurt. Can he take one of Joshua's shots? I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you something, Big Dan. I'm with you on that. And I don't think that Richard Comey would turn down a title fight. I don't think he would. I think his stand would be like, okay, hell yeah.
That's a great fight.
Yeah, Richard Comey would be a good one as well, especially since it would be a common opponent with Teofimo. The only thing is I feel people might discredit that win because he is coming off of a knockout loss, but I think it'd be a good fight still.
You get more credit than fucking Gary Russell Jr.
No, because Russell's a champion.
Hey, can I put this in perspective?
Hold on, Brian. And this is a former champion at 135. I don't care if he did get knocked out. He's a former champion. Especially, look, IBT, Intangible, you guys put value in this former champion. Y'all put value in that. So this is Richard Comey, a former champion at 135. He gets way more credit than Gary Russell Jr.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Can I put a better perspective on this? Gary Russell Jr. would be the biggest name on Devin Haney's record, and probably the smallest opponent he's fought.
Yeah. That's true. That's true both ways.
Yeah.
Primo, what's up?
Pretty rough.
Hit that like, family. Appreciate the die hard. JJ says, I don't think Canelo is ducking anyway in the middleweight division. It's kind of stupid when people say that. I mean, come on, Andre, basically Southpaw Wilder. Yeah, and Charlo was struggling against Corval. Yeah. That's just a dumb narrative. That's a bullshit narrative, JJ.
Here's the thing. Russell is really, like, people got to understand, Naoya Inoue has a bigger frame than Gary Russell. Wilfredo Mendez, who's a champion at strawweight, has as big of a frame as Gary Russell. That dude is small as hell.
Yeah.
If he goes anywhere above 126, he gets killed. And I don't even think he survives and becomes undisputed at 126 either. I think Warrington beats his ass.
Oh my gosh. Hold on for a second, guys. Carlos Mendoza, what's good? Hey, I ain't even gonna ask you to step to the front of the congregation because you always troll and do that crazy shit from the chat. But hey, I'm not trying to hear your foolishness today. This is a foolish fight, a ridiculously foolish fight for Devin Haney, and there's no supporting that. So you could just cut your bullshit right now. All right, Zaros, appreciate you, fam. Appreciate you.
Yo, D, sorry, really quick before we continue, I gotta go as well. But thanks for having me on.
Oh, appreciate you. Appreciate you coming through.
Yeah, peace out.
Have a good one, man.
All right. So, hey, cut it out, dog. Cut it out right now. I'm telling you, cut it out. This Devin Haney fight is foolishness, foolery to the highest extent. What are you talking about? In all honesty, I'm not a big fan of this fight. But Haney trying to get a good fight. Oh, man, cut it out. Richard Coleman, we just went over that. That's a way better fight. Richard Coleman, former champion. Stop it. His team would not turn it down. Cut it out. You guys are full of it, bro. There's no way to support this fight. So don't come in here trying to support it at any level. No, it has a little intrigue in it. I'll give you that. But it's a foolish fight. Lose-lose situation for Devin Haney, just like Zaro said.
There's intrigue in it because it's a goofy ass fight. That's why.
Right. There is intrigue in it. Yeah. It is intriguing, and I'll give it that, bro. I can't argue that, and I wouldn't try to argue that. There's some intrigue in this fight.
I mean, it's like watching a shootout take place. I mean, it's not cool that a shootout's occurring, but it's intriguing. Let's be honest; it captures our eyes.
Yeah, if Devin Haney beats the living crap out of GRJ, I wouldn't be too sad about that. But if GRJ humiliates Devin Haney, I wouldn't be too sad about that either.
Brian Harkin, let me correct you here. When Devin Haney beats the shit out of Gary Russell Jr.
Yeah, okay.
So let's talk about that right now. Because I can bash the fight and everything. But let's talk about the ideas of the outcome of this fight. Well, my idea of the outcome of this fight is Devin Haney beats the shit out of Gary Russell. Yeah. Tank Davis beats the shit out of Leo Santa Cruz. That's how I feel about these two fights.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go down the list. Mark, since you just stepped back up here, the outcome of the fight. What do you think?
I see Gary Russell causing them serious issues for 2 or 3 rounds with the hand speed. Devin starts to adjust with angles, starts picking him off with the jab. Gary's already starting to gas at 126, so at 135 or extra rate, he's going to gas even more. Devin's going to beat him up going down the stretch, probably take him out rounds 9 or 10. In the first 3 rounds, he has problems. You're always going to have problems with that hand speed. You will. And then once he starts to take his little time off that Gary does, Devin's just going to dissect him on the back foot, turning him on the angle. So I got Devin. I got Devin by either late knockout in brutal dissection fashion, or I've got him in a brutal clinic. Kind of similar to Errol Spence versus Mikey, to be honest.
All right. Brian, how you see that fight going?
Yeah. It'd be tough for 2 rounds. I think Devin Haney can get him out of there as soon as he lands on him. I honestly do. I got a 4th, 5th, or 6th round stoppage. That's how I see the fight going. I don't see it being very competitive beyond the first 2 rounds, and Devin Haney figures them out. Right. I think from the 3rd round on, Devin Haney annihilates him.
See.
Okay. Really batters him,
Yeah, Intangible. Before I let you go, no, go ahead, Intangible. I'll respond to this tomfoolery after you.
I don't even think he actually causes him issues. I'm just going to be honest. When has Gary Russell Jr. fought a slick boxer? When's the last time he did so? Lomachenko. He got humiliated in that fight. He had no answers for what Loma brought to the table. He was walking in straight lines into Loma's combos and jab. He's a small guy. If he fights a guy like Devin Haney, who's 5'9", 5'10", 71, 72-inch reach, he's going to get beat up. I mean, like, I think even a Kid Galahad would be absolute nightmares for Russell. Because Russell doesn't face those guys. For the most part, he's fighting guys who are in the pocket, in range for his combinations.
Okay, I'll give my breakdown. Devin Haney beats the shit out of Gary Russell. So, moving on. Who wants a shot at this comment? Because I definitely can take off on it. But
yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it in a more polite way.
You probably will. So you go ahead and take it, because I don't want to be mean to AI.
Comment now. That's a horrible fight. It's not a horrible fight. It's a good fight, and it's a tester. And you see, there is going to be fans, and I do agree with this. There's going to be fans who will be like, "Oh, Teofimo KO'd him," whatever. They're idiots, right? They're idiots. Boxing fans know styles make fights. Devin is more of a boxer. He ain't a KO artist. If he goes in there and he dissects Comey over 12 rounds, it's going to be like, damn, he put on a clinic. Right. There's a different way of looking at it. Different styles make fights. And that's an intriguing one, because Comey is actually a solid boxer. That's Shafikov and Easter. You don't get him out of there, he's going to box with you.
And see, this is what people like AOBs don't understand. Because plenty of times, AOBs, you're an idiot. And this is one of them. And this is what you don't understand. If Devin Haney went in there and put on a clinic with versus Comey, I would not hate on that. Because to me, if he went in there and put on a 12-round clinic versus a Comey, it is just as impressive as that 2-round knockout by Teofimo. To me. And I would say
if he goes in there and he beats him in points 9-3, 8-4, he did better than anybody else did in a points victory over Comey.
That's just as impressive. It's just and people like myself, Unrivaled, Brian and Tank, we can respect that. You understand? But you today are an idiot. So moving on. Mark was nice enough to you, but I couldn't let you slide that much. Sorry. I'd rather watch paint dry than thank you, JJ. That's what I'm talking about, fam. And I'm a painter, so I know how boring that is. I actually really do hate Haney skills. Think he's a big threat to Loma and Teo, but not interested in this Russell fight. Yeah, I don't. I rate his skills too, man. The kids got skills. Yeah, I rate his skills.
He talented. My only thing is, how does he deal with an aggressive, vicious inside fighter? Like, that's my only thing. I'm wondering, like, the Mendys of the world, the Comeys of the world, how he'll deal with them if they get inside on him, because they're very physical, very strong. How he's going to be, will he tie them up, or is he just going to try and box as he slows down? Will it be, because they're good body punchers as well, they'll slow you down, they'll take the wind out of your sails. So, I mean, that's why I really like him, his next fight. No, don't be looking for some weird name or whatever. Look to legitimize yourself and give yourself a tester. Because for me, that's a tester, that Mendy, that Comey shit. And I'm not saying Mendy's as good as Comey, although I would like to see that fight, by the way, if Devin don't fight either of them, Comey versus Mendy, that's a fucking barn burner. That's a beauty. But I'd just like to see him fight one of those guys, because they're gonna give him something to think about that he hasn't. The physicality, the strength, the experience. They're very strong fighters. So I'd like to see that. That's just me.
Right. Yeah. He'll
outbox most guys. He'll outbox most of these dudes. He'll outbox most of them. In boxing matches, he'll just outbox them. Guys who are physical and represent a different challenge, that's different.
Yeah. Facts. That's a fact. I agree with that, Jay Kyle. Andre says, can I hear the panel's thoughts on Comey saying Teofimo's power is overrated? Well,
I'll go first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, my thoughts on that are, dude got fucked up. A power ain't overrated if you got fucked up by it in two. You can't. If you look, it's like when Eric Molina said Anthony Joshua's power is overrated. I'm like, but bro, he took your head off. Like, or when Dillian White said his power's over. Do you remember when Arthur Spielke, right, about 6 months after the Wilder knockout, said Wilder doesn't hit as hard as people think? Bro, he nearly killed you.
Right.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't even remember being hit by that knockout punch or those dropping punches or whatever.
Look, I gotta get on this now. Hold on, guys. Y'all know Teofimo, my boy. Y'all can't do that. Not when it comes to Teofimo question. I gotta jump in on this. Andre, I would say this to Coleman first. You idiot. Okay, that's the first thing I would say to Coleman. And if he said drop the link, please drop the link in the chat from this where you see this at, Andre. Because I'm going to do a you idiot segment on this, and shout out to you for bringing this to my attention. But here's my thoughts on this. You've never been stopped before you got in the ring with Teofimo Lopez. I will say this again. Coleman, you idiot. You have never been stopped until you got in the ring with Teofimo Lopez. Saying that his power is overrated is absolutely ridiculous. Go smack yourself. So put that link in the chat because I'm gonna. Oh, he's got to get a you idiot for that one. Not having the shit. Okay, back. Not having to cut 126 should help Garrett's. Man, look. Let me tell you something, Scott Brown. 2 weight classes, so it's gonna level out if anything because he don't have to cut. But he needs more muscle to get in there with Devin Haney. So it'll level out, fam. It will level out, period. I don't even want to hear that nonsense. Gary Russell's getting his ass whippeth to the fullest. Thank you, Carlos Mendoza. It is. It's a fucking joke. This fight's a joke, bro. What if Gary beats Devin up? That's why I said, shout out to Gary. This is not about Gary Russell. Guys, Box Life, if he beats Devin up, salute. That man gets maximum credit. Maximum. If he gets a majority or split decision, maximum credit to Gary Russell. I have no problem with Gary Russell stepping up 2 weight classes to fight a champion. I keep saying that. My problem is not with Gary Russell. It's Teofimo haters, Devin Haney detractors that come over here and hate Teofimo. They're his fans. And Devin Haney. This is foolery. Foolery to his finest. I want to make sure that that's known here. This is not about Gary Russell. If anybody else have a problem with Gary Russell because he could have unified, okay, that's fine. I think this is a big step up for Gary Russell, being as inactive as he is and going up 2 weight classes. Big step up. I have no problem with Russell. Yes, he will cause Devin issues early. Yeah, I said again, it's some intrigue in this fight. Facts are Devin Haney's gonna beat his ass. I don't care if it's early or late, because here's a reality of it too. This is assumption that he's gonna cause Devin Haney all of these problems the first 4 rounds. I'm gonna tell you why I say that. Because I don't think Gary Russell is the guy that's gonna muscle Devin Haney. Devin Haney is big for this weight class. Let's get this fucking shit straight. Devin Haney's big for this weight class. He has longer arms. He's taller. He's bigger. I think he's fucking stronger. And who the fuck is Gary Russell? Even though Devin Haney ain't known as no knockout puncher, you seen what he did to Abdullah. So who the fuck has Gary Russell fought that hits hard as Devin Haney?
No one.
Thank you. I'm not trying to hear this bullshit. I'm not trying to hear this bullshit. This is a senseless fight for Devin Haney. Fuck
I
that.
think he sparked. I do think Haney sparked him. So
he's gonna knock him out, man.
Hold on.
I'm gonna decide what round. I'm gonna do some study, a little bit of study on, and just to decide what round he's gonna put him away. I want you to understand that. Of course, Mark. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd argue Loma hits harder than Devin.
Nah, well,
I think so too.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this. That argument we will have it because at 135, I don't know. I would definitely have that argument with you guys. Now, when he was down there, at those weight classes and pound for pound, like I said, okay. But at 135, I don't think so.
Devin's going to break him down to the body. Russell kind of struggles. Doesn't really like it to the body. Like I noticed in the Tux.Nyambr fight, Nyambr was actually slowing him down later on once he got down. So,
I mean, I just look. Devin's best stoppage is Zara Abdullah.
Yeah, Abdullah, that's it. That's his best stoppage. But it's the way he stopped. I see it happening in similar fashion in this fight. Because he's too fucking long for Gary Russell. And 2K Jeezy, Gary is going to pressure Devin Haney. Gary is going to keep all night attempting to pressure Devin Haney. He'll get some pressure on 1 or 2 rounds, maybe 3. I don't fucking see that 4-round problem shit. 1 or 2 rounds, maybe 3. And then he's going to be catching, hold on. And then he's going to be catching jabs in his fucking face trying to pressure Devin Haney. That's what's going to happen. Go ahead, Intangible.
I mean, let's be honest, though. What is Russell's best stoppage? Probably Johnny Gonzalez. And this is an older Johnny Gonzalez. Gonzalez got stopped at 122 by Nishioka.
Right.
I mean, whoa.
Right. And Russell's going to come up there. And it's a good chance that Devin Haney spits Russell punches out like fucking sunflower seeds, yo. Like, get the fuck out of here. Boom, 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 boom. And walk through that bullshit. It's a good chance of that. I keep telling you guys, Devin Haney is big for this weight class. Punch resistance, guys. Wake the fuck up. Fucking Gary Russell. What is he? Got devastating power at 135 now? 2 weight classes up? That motherfucker ain't throwing a punch at 135. What are you people thinking? Gary Russell's getting his ass whipping. Guarantee. Bet you.
Right.
And I am going to bet it. I'm going to bet the fight. I'm trying to figure out the round so I can make some money off of this.
Whatever it is, it better not be pay-per-view. Only thing I got to say.
I ain't paying. I don't give a fuck. I'm not paying.
Can y'all hear me there, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to argue on the point of Loma real quick that he hits harder than Devin. He stopped Crawler at lightweight, and he stopped Linares at lightweight. Devin stopped Zara Abdullah. Loma's proven it more. Like, stopping Linares is a better stoppage than anything Devin's got. He has proven his power up there, and he does hurt guys. He hurt Pedraza this one. And he dropped Luke Campbell.
That's why I say arguably. I mean, you can argue that, and my argument to that, Mark, would be that I got to see Haney in the ring with those guys. I think he can put them down and drop them too. That's all I'm gonna say. So I can't argue that he don't, but I can argue that he does. That's all I'm gonna say. But he's a bigger guy. Lomo is maxed out at 135, and I think Devin Haney has the power. Devin Haney's a boxer. But when he want to lay the blows, he can lay the blows. And I think he puts those guys down as well. We will have to see the fight, though. Because the kid got the skills. He got the skills.
Yeah, he does have the skills.
He got him. Box Life said Gary Russell will quit on the stool. Big bet spread around the track. I don't know. He could. He could quit on the stool. I don't know. I don't think Gary Russell's a quitter, though. I think he'll go down before he quit on the stool. Maybe his team will stop it, but I don't really think Gary Russell will quit. What do you think? What y'all think about that? Y'all think Gary Russell will quit?
No. That really, I don't care, to be honest.
I don't either, but I won't.
I don't think there's quit in Gary, actually. I think Gary's crazy.
Yeah.
Gary is actually crazy, we got to be honest. I think what would be more likely to happen is the towel will come in. That's more likely to happen than Gary quitting. The towel.
Or maybe
that's why I was saying the corner stop.
He could get knocked out. But the towel.
He's gonna get knocked out. Fuck that, bro. Devin Haney gonna knock him out.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Gary's got a solid chin. I'd just say, like, the more likelihood of him getting stopped is when he gasses in those later rounds and Devin puts it on him.
I don't care when or how that motherfucker's getting stopped in this fight, fam. I'm telling you right now. I'm betting on it. I'm going to bet my money on it. I'm telling you.
Do you think the fight's happening, by the way? Because
I don't know.
I hope not.
Yeah,
but then again, I keep asking myself, what would I prefer? Devin versus Gary, yeah? Would I prefer Devin versus Gary or Devin versus Gamboa? I'd rather Devin versus Gary, to be honest.
Yeah. I gotta go, guys.
All right, Brian. I appreciate you coming through, fam.
Yeah, have a good one. That's
You
a
too.
bullshit fight, and I'm not interested in it. That's how I see it.
At the
That
same
makes
time,
two of us, brother.
this is how low we're stooping when it comes to Devin Haney's matchmaking. Gamboa and Russell. I want to see him in the ring with Mendy. That's what I said earlier. If I'm Devin Haney's matchmaker, I put him in with Mendy. Because Mendy is a guy who can come forward. He's very strong. He's sort of like the lightweight Oscar Rivas. And I think it'd probably be Haney's biggest test thus far.
It definitely would be. Definitely. Ivan Mendy's a very good fighter. He's vastly underrated. Like he can fight on the inside. He's intelligent. And look,
It's
Devin's
simple.
going to have to come through a few headbutts in that fight, man.
It's a little more simpler than that. And I mean, everything Mark said was spot on. Abdulayev or Alfonso Santiago, take your fucking pick. Mendy's a better test than both of those. And you take your pick to say that, I know, you take your pick to say that those are his best fights. So there's no question that Ivan Mendy would be a better test. No question. No question.
Yo, by the way, did you see Abdulayev's last fight? That dude looked like the second coming of Rocky Balboa in that ring, bro. He dropped man like 52 times.
Did he?
That was funny. That referee wanted that dude to die. Did you not see that shit, D?
I didn't even see the fight.
That dude got dropped, was shaking on his legs. Referee let it go. It gets dropped again. It gets ripped to the body, gets dropped again. Like this continuously happened, and the referee kept letting it go.
Right.
He just let the fight go on. Every time the dude got to his feet, Abdullayev was just wrecking him, man. He was hitting them with everything. He turned into Bruce Lee, Rocky Balboa, and Rocky Marciano all in one day. It was funny as shit.
Exactly, Jay. Exactly. Russell's power didn't help him get beat Loma. It didn't. It didn't help him beat Lomachenko. So what the fuck makes somebody think it's gonna do something to Devin? I'm telling you, sunflower seeds. Boom. That's what it's gonna be. Gary Russell ain't got no work for Devin Haney, man. Will Russell vacate his featherweight title to fight Haney? I'm not sure.
Hopefully he does, because I think all of the champions at 126 are holding their titles hostage.
I don't think he should. I disagree with that. I don't think he should, because he's going to get his ass beat, and at least he'll have that to go back to. So, no, I don't think he should. I really don't. I know it'll be better for the fans. I get it. And the belt will be up, and he don't have to hold it hostage. I get all of that. But for his benefit, no, hold on to that motherfucker, because you're going to need it. Because you're getting your ass whooped, and at least you'll have that championship to fall back on. So keep that belt as a backup plan, because you're going to need a backup plan.
All I'm saying is, if he keeps his belt, at least let's get rid of the fucking WBA Super being attached to Leo, because he's the super champion at 130, and he's fighting Tank like in a fucking lightweight regular fight as well. So get rid of that shit from Leo, at least.
Right. Box Life, let me tell you something. At least if this was to me, if this is to me, my friend, and I got to put that out while I tell you this. Let me move over here. I am betting Teofimo versus Lomachenko. And 7th round is what I'm picking for Teofimo Lopez to knock Lomachenko the fuck out, my friend. Okay? I don't sit up here and I'm betting money for him to knock his ass out. And guess what? I'm going to win a lot of money if he does it within that frame. I'm going to win a lot of money because he is going to be the underdog, my friend. So the plus on him knocking Lomachenko the fuck out is going to be enormous. I'm going to put a heavy wager on it because Teofimo Lopez is going to knock Lomachenko the fuck out. Now, that I'm not sure of. You know, I'm not guaranteeing that one. Not at all, because Lomo could get in there and school that kid. Beat that kid like he stole something. I ain't even going to act oblivious to that. But I'm still betting on it. This Gary Russell garbage, man, he's going to beat Gary Russell's ass. I'm pretty confident in that. And he will get reality check. He's getting too cocky for his small boots. I don't know. He won't get the reality check until he fights somebody to give it to him, Box Life. And in my opinion, Gary Russell ain't the guy to give him that reality check. So He might get a reality check, but it ain't gonna be in this next fight. Not in my opinion. Loma couldn't knock out Gary. But you think Haney will? The thing is this, man. It's different, Anthony R. And why I say that I think Haney will. And yeah, Loma didn't. Okay. Haney's dimensions and his size, fam. This is the thing. Got to keep this in mind. Haney's going to end up at 154 probably. Maybe even 154. Probably 147. But this 135 is just temporary. The dude's size, his length, he's getting stronger every day. Every day. This is a young athlete. He's not peaked out yet. So from his fight with Abdulayev, he got stronger. And the fight with Santiago, he got stronger. Nowadays, he is stronger. And he's bigger. He's going to beat the shit out of Gary Russell. And he's going to stop him. Yes, I think he will stop him, even though Loma did it. Lomachenko and Gary Russell's dimensions are more complementary. Their size, their height, their reach, more complementary. Devin Haney has all of the advantages, all of them. The only advantage that he does not have versus Gary Russell is speed. That's it. And it may not be that wide of a margin because we have to see what Gary Russell looks like with muscle. And if he doesn't put on enough muscle, he's definitely going to get knocked the fuck out because he's going to need that muscle for some punch resistance. So, yes, there is a lot of factors why I think Devin Haney is going to knock him out. Whether Loma did or not, styles make fights.
Haney doesn't
mean a lot.
Haney doesn't knock him out. It's time to take him back to regional Mexican Tijuana level.
Yeah, man.
So that's pathetic. He needs to get rid of him, honestly. And honestly, I'm tired of Russell at this point.
Good? Go ahead. What you saying, Tanner?
And I'm just tired of Russell at this point. He's fighting decent opponents, but it's not enough. Every single fight he has is against a decent fighter, but he's never taken any career-defining fights in his entire career.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Jack Out said I might even pick Haney to beat Loma, but I don't know. I would pick Haney to beat Loma. Listen, man, I'm big on Teofimo, and I see some things in Teofimo that I think can get him past Loma to knock Loma out. Although Haney is highly skilled, and I do put him on the level of Teofimo, it's a different fight. It's a different fight because he's a boxer and Lomachenko's a boxer. So essentially, we're talking about Devin Haney outboxing Lomachenko. That I don't put my money on. I don't, man. I cannot put my money on Devin Haney outboxing Lomachenko. But I can put my money on Teofimo knocking Lomachenko the fuck out. Because he also has skills. But he has those skills that's complemented with that power. So it's different. I wouldn't. Who would you guys have, Haney or Loma, in that fight?
Loma by stoppage, 9th or 10th round.
Wow. Okay. Mark?
What was the question?
Loma versus Haney. Who would you have?
Vasily.
Yeah, I will have to go with Lomachenko. They're going to need better judges than you guys. Ramos probably worth it. Man, no, they're not. I don't even agree with that, Scott Brown. For either fight, if you're talking about the topic, Devin Haney versus Gary Russell, judges are not going to be required. You know why, Scott Brown? Because when a fighter gets stopped, they take it out of the judge's hands. Therefore, judges don't matter in this fight. He's going to beat the shit out of Gary Russell and put him away. So I don't think the judges mean a damn thing. Teofimo Lopez is going to knock Lomachenko the fuck out, or Lomachenko is going to totally outclass that kid. Totally. I'm telling you guys, I know that is a possibility. I don't think I'm fucking oblivious to that. If I'm wrong, Lomachenko's going to outclass this kid. Therefore, the judges will all be murdered before they leave the arena if they tried to give Teofimo Lopez. And the judges are probably going to be in the favor of Lomachenko. So if the judges play a favor in that fight, it's probably to the better boxer that should have won if it goes 12 rounds anyway, which would be Lomachenko. And I would have to admit that. He's the better boxer. So if Teofimo can't stop this dude, and let's say it's 7-5 Teofimo's way, dude, you should have known you weren't going to get that decision going in. And I mean that shit. And I won't be crying robbery up here or none of that. I promise you guys that. I promise you I won't. Because that's just the reality of it. It is a situation for Teofimo where he has to beat the champion. You know, you always hear that old saying, you got to go in there and beat the champion. Although Teofimo's the champion himself, no, fuck that. He's going to have to go in there and beat the champion. So in a boxing match, that kid better win 10-2 rounds, 9-3 rounds, or they probably will give it to Lomachenko. And I'm not going to sit up here and cry about it. I promise you. I'm not. He's got to knock him out, man. And I think he will. I think he will, but he's going to definitely have to put him away. Matador in the building. Haney is big for the division. Exactly, Matador. Exactly. He said Haney is bigger than Floyd right now. Wow. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, man, come on, bro. Lomachenko is maxed out, guys. Gary Russell, he lost to Loma. Loma is maxed out at 135. This is where Gary Russell is coming to. He ain't had a fight to adjust, to adapt to this weight class, none of that. This motherfucker is going to fight the champion right away. Not one punch taken, not one punch received at 135. And we're talking about this? Like Devin Haney ain't going to whoop him all around that damn ring? Please. I'm telling you, Devin Haney going to beat Gary Russell like he stole something. He going to beat him like he stole something. Raider from LA in the building. What's good with you, Raider? All right, guys, I'm getting ready to shut this thing down because I got to Speak Your Mind Sports Talk Live daily that I'm getting ready to crank up in about 15 minutes. Martin Ramos, he says, salute D. Jefferson. I'm glad this fight is happening so we don't have to hear Gary Russell Chihuahua as calling out bigger fighters instead of Burchell. Yeah, that's a good point, Martin Ramos. I'm with that. Appreciate you, dog. Iceman, that bullshit Loma earned every win. He should have gotten the win on Salido. Yeah. He should be undefeated. I mean, some people argue. I don't know. But, all right, guys. Catch y'all in about 15 minutes, 10, 12 minutes, something like that. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk Live daily. Appreciate all y'all coming through. And I'm just going to end it with this. Thanks, Mark and Intangible. But I'm just going to end it with this, man. This fight is absolutely ridiculous, okay, for Devin Haney. I have no problems with Gary Russell. Salute to you, Gary Russell. Good luck to you, Gary Russell. I think you're going to get your ass whooped, but salute to you. Good luck to you. If you can pull it off, man, shout out to you. It's an uphill battle. Devin Haney, you idiot. If you take this fight, you idiot. That's what I have to say about it. And y'all know how I always in this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.